Welcome to another edition of Africa Sideways. My name's Big Six Simpson, and we've got something that's not so familiar to South African viewers, but very familiar to our European viewers, and that's the Peugeot 3008. It's been a car of the year winner in Europe, but hasn't really done much in the sales in South Africa. And I'm starting to wonder why, because after a week of driving this car, it feels very, very well made. It feels almost, I dare say, like a Rav4 level of quality. The buttons feel well made. It's got this nice aircraft style buttons, GPS, reverse camera. Sure, the reverse camera is a little bit small, but it does the job. Coming out of the P series Bucky last week with this massive camera. This is a bit smaller, but it's still got a camera. Styling on this is absolutely on point. It's probably the most stylish SUV in the business at the moment. And when you bury your foot in, it's all there, ladies and gentlemen. Goes like an absolute homestick mole. Good fan system for the wet. Clears everything very quickly. So I was intrigued because driving this car, it feels very, very well made. So I thought, let me check the reliability ratings on this car, and it came out very, very high. 2 out of 76 vehicles. So I've always said if the French cars can get reliability into their repertoire, they've always had styling on point. One of the best for styling and panache and head turning ability. The French always have had that covered since the Renault 5 Turbo in the 80s. They've had some the Citroens with the air suspension in the 80s as well, 70s. They've really had some purdy cars. The reliability has always been a bit of an issue, especially on the Reynolds. I've heard people with Scenics having 80,000 rands worth of Reynolds Scenics having 80,000 rands worth of issues. So from that perspective, and if they can get in the top 5 SUVs for reliability with this styling, they're really going to start selling more and more product in South Africa. That's for sure, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of price, this comes in at 640,000. Now, let's see how it goes through the puddle there. Not too bad. So this is coming in at 640,000. Originally, when I looked at it, I think I might have seen an older review, and it was 450,000 from a previous year's model. And I thought, sure, 450,000. Everybody I was speaking to said that's the deal of the century. So 640 actually feels a bit more realistic for this sort of level of car. It is a lot of money, I'm not going to deny that, but I can feel the quality. It feels as good as driving a BMW or an Audi, but with a little bit more uniqueness. In South Africa, you're not going to see too many on the road for now. The handling is really on point. You can just throw it through there and off she goes. 6-speed automatic gearbox on here, extremely good, smooth as a whistle. One of the best gearboxes I've driven for a long time. And the party piece on this is the sport mode. Listen to the sound of this engine. It's got that, wow, it sounds like a Spitfire going through an empty forest. It's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. See the quartering, that's all there, and then we got it out of here. That is purdy. One of the best sounding sports modes. Normally when you put the sports mode on, it just puts the revs up a bit, but this actually changes the whole note to the engine. It's a lot of theatre in here. Let's give it another try. in a very, very tightly contested SUV market. You got the status quo of the Rav4 with its 2.5 litre petrol and I think a 2.2 litre diesel engine, which I've driven the petrol and it feels very, very solid, probably bigger inside, but I don't like the gearbox. I don't like the CVT gearbox in the Rav4. Over revving, this feels like a lot more of a refined offering than the Rav4, but on reliability you're not going to really be able to say anything too bad about the. Oh, look at this, half the road's fucking gone here. I think I can get through here. Let's check how this thing goes on a bit of gravel. Let's check out the suspension. He's got low profile tires on with an 80 profile on the side, so, and not that much space between the. Whoa, mama. Yeah, we're gonna have to take the scenic route here, and not that much space between the tire and the wheel arch, so it's not going to be that comfortable off-road, but you can do basic gravel roading. On my 7 dams in 1 day expedition, we took this car on a beautiful gravel road from Full Flat to Misverstand, to handle adequately. I think if you're going to do a lot of gravel roading, I'll change the rims to a 16-inch rim and put a higher profile tire on. But it's, you see it's doing alright here. No problem whatsoever. I would like to see an all-wheel drive version of this with a center diff, an extra inch or two of clearance. That would really, hey doggy, that would really bring this car alive, because it's got the WRC pedigree. Got a nice little flat pitch here. Let's throw it into the corner. I'm sure there's been a lot of erosion. That handle's fine. Got about, I think, about 180 mils of clearance for light gravel roading. This is going to have you sorted. But the sort of person who's going to buy this isn't going to be doing light gravel roading. This is really a city car. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And let's check the brakes out. On the brakes, it's in the wet. Oh, very, very smooth. I'm impressed with these brakes. So getting back to the competition, for this car you're looking at your Rav4, which is similarly priced, a bit more off-road ability, but doesn't have the styling. The styling's a bit dorky on the Rav4, and the handling on this is really off the chain. Then you got your Nissan X-trail, which is, I got a friend with the 7-seater Nissan X-trail and it goes really, really well. No problems whatsoever with it. With a 1.6 diesel, probably give you a bit more off-road ability, but the styling on that is kind of a bit dated. This is really coming on swinging with modern day styling. I'm impressed with the good navigation system on this. And then you get your Mazda CX-5, which is another, which has been doing really well of late, the CX-5. Very strong competition to this. But again, the styling on that is all quite generic. The MX-5 and the Nissan X-trail and the Hyundai Tucson all look very similar. Solid cars, solid build quality, but if you want something with a bit of panache, I don't think you can look too much further than the Peugeot 3008, ladies and gentlemen. And then when you want to just drive stately, you can put it into eco mode and it just dumbs all the revs down. So what do I like on this car? It's got lovely, if you're up front here, it's got a lot of nice storage compartments. If you do a bit of filming, you can put your GoPro there, you can put your phone, there's lots of storage here, 2 drinks holders, massive compartment here for storing stuff. So it is an incredibly well thought out, and let's not forget the red nappa leather seats. I mean, the styling on here is really, really, really good. The buttons are all good, and they've got a proper nod. And they got a proper knob here for the sound system. Let's open it up a bit. That sounds really, really good. Good power to weight ratio. It's got enough just to pop you in the back of the seat a bit, but it's not going to be over the top power. I would like to see this in a 2-liter turbocharged with the all-wheel drive center diff. I think would make an incredibly good hot hatch SUV. This thing's got a real presence on the road. Lovely aircraft style buttons here. Everything's functional. Back seats are on point. So would I buy one? This is always the thing with a French car. With a lot of the other ones I would probably say no because of the reliability concerns, but if this is coming out really good with customer reviews, and a reliable French car is a top selling French car, because the only reason a lot of people don't buy it is because of that particular region. So if they got that sorted, that they're going to sell a lot of the units on this. It's got a good sound system. Let's see where we are now. Yeah. Proper like a chopper. This car really does make you feel good. I had a chance to bond with it on my recent trip to 7 dams in one day. Check that review out. It's going to be coming shortly, if not up already. And I did about 500 Ks on the car, and it just works. Phenomenal on tar. Great overtaking. Pretty economical. You know, you can do under 10 liters per 100 Ks in this car, which is the benchmark for decent fuel economy. And I was surprised on the gravel, it actually handled it right. Put a fatter set of tackies on you and you could go a lot of places. Things I don't like about this car, well, it kind of ties in with the last point. I don't like the ultra low profile tires, which I like to do a bit of gravel riding, but on tar, like, yeah, it's just silky smooth. Another thing, the cruise control, the radar cruise control is not activating because the front of the car got dirty, I think. So if your sensors at the front get mud on them, your cruise control ain't gonna work. Which is not going to be a problem for most people because they're not going to be going on mud. So that's just one thing to bear in mind. The boot's not the biggest in the world, but I still managed to fit 5 big bags of wood in the back. So, you know, you could fit 1 or 2 golf clubs in the back without too much drama. And for most people, that's all you're going to really need. The sort of person that's going to be buying this car is probably a small family with 1 or 2 kids, or a couple, or even a single person if they need to carry a lot of stuff around with them. You can fold the back seats down and you'll have quite a bit of storage room. So, with all that being said, what does it get on the Africa Sideways vehicle rating? You know, this is the first, I haven't given one of these for a while, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Because it's got class-leading styling, fun to drive, great handling. Oh, one thing I don't like, it's got the E handbrake, so that's a bit of a downer, but the gear shift is really, really cool. It looks similar to a BMW one. But yeah, if they've got the reliability on pat with this thing, I would like to see what this looks like in 10 years time. But another thing I like is it doesn't do a lot of beeping. It lets you drive the car most of the time. I found last week with the Chinese bucky, it wants to beep, 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 and if you turn the parking sensor off, it stays off the next time you get in the car. Thank you, Peugeot. A lot of the time you'll change your settings, and as soon as you get in the car next time after firing up, you've got to rechange all your settings. This actually takes what you're saying seriously and gives you the same setting when you fire it up again, which I haven't really seen many cars that do that whatsoever. So that's a big plus sign. Very impressed with the wet weather handling on this particular vehicle. Sometimes it's hard to even know if there's a front wheel drive or all-wheel drive because the grip is just so good. Brakes are on point. Really is a fun car to drive and an easy car to drive. There you go. Perfect. So we'll catch you next time on Africa Sideways. And if you'd like to support the creation of more content on Africa Sideways, car reviews, overlanding talk, 4x4 adventures, etc., etc., please hit the thanks button at the bottom of the screen next to the thumbs up.